Hello, one and all, everybody, everywhere. Hello to us all and everybody. This is Heavenly Album Covers, and we are going to look at an album. I think it's from 1973, and it's by Rick Derringer, and the album is called All American Boy. Rick Derringer's real name is Rick Zeringer with a Z, and he was born in Ohio. He's a guitar player, he's a producer, he's an all-around multi-instrumentalist. He's a great guy. He's only 5'4", so he's a petite all-American boy. And here is Rick Derringer here. He's holding a Fender guitar. I forgot the name of this particular model. And Rick Derringer is here on the cover. He's very arrogant. He's very full of rock and roll vigor and oomph, and he just looks great. He has all these various shadows around him that look photographically accomplished, and his hair is blowing casually in the studio wind. He's wearing a very small little silver vinyl jacket. It's very glimmery and shimmery, and for some reason he's playing the guitar with these silver gloves on. I'm not sure if he actually could play the guitar with silver gloves, but here on the cover he is playing the guitar on the cover with silver gloves on, and he's looks like he's making a chord there with his left hand, and he's maybe adjusting his tone knob with the other hand. And we'll look at this whole situation a little bit later. And Rick has some things dangling from his neck. Looks like some teeth. Looks like animal teeth dangling from his neck, and some sort of strange item here right under his chin. Personally, I'm very impressed by all of these big shadows around him. This album is on Blue Sky Records, which was a subsidiary of Columbia Records. And this is a very shiny, brilliant looking album cover. It's got a lot of laminate on it, and the Blue Sky logo is just kind of tucked away in the corner. It doesn't get in the way. Rick is pretty much centered in the composition, a little bit upwards towards the top. This lettering here is comprised of what look like light bulbs, like you would see on a Broadway marquee. They are draping the top of Rick Derringer's head. And Rick Derringer was a member of the McCoys band in the very early 60s. He was a young kid when he was in the McCoys, and they had a huge hit called Hang On Sloopy. And that song has probably gotten millions of airplays throughout the years and decades. And recently he has played with Ringo Starr and Ringo's all-star band. Rick Derringer has had a couple of hits. His most notable hit song is Rock and Roll Hoochie Coo. And that song, the original version, is here on this All American Boy album. Rock and Roll Hoochie Coo has probably 3 or 4 various really great classic rock riffs. The whole song is like made up of really great riffs. The opening is a riff, and the little bridge part is a riff, and all the little embellishments are a riff. And Rick Derringer has also produced many albums for Alfred Yankovic, Weird Al, and I think they've had a lot of fun putting those albums together. Rick Derringer has released very many solo albums, and he's collaborated with the Winter Brothers, Johnny and Edgar. He was in Edgar Winter's White Trash. On this album, Rick Derringer plays all the instruments, basically, except for drums and some percussion, and some of the singing is done by other people, but Rick is kind of a one-man band on this album. Here are the liner notes, and it's a very straightforward set of lyrics and some technical liner notes at the bottom. It's white and light blue header lettering here, and really concise lyrics here. There's a song on this album called Cheap Tequila. A secondary hit off this album was Teenage Queen, and I listened to this album the other day driving around, and the thing that struck me is it's very much like Mott the Hoople. There's a lot of slow songs, kind of slow to mid-tempo songs on here. It's not all high energy. You would think that this is a super high energy album, but it's kind of a glam, slow moving, stately, slow moving glam album. And I think this was meant to position Rick Derringer as a member of the glam rock society back in the mid 70s. And I think it did, but I don't think he ever reached the status of a Suzi Quatro or a T-Rex, a Mark Bolan. In fact, some of the songs on here sound like T-Rex. And let's look at the inner gatefold as opposed to the outer gatefold. And here is Mr. Rick Derringer, all 5'4" of him. You can see more clearly his teeth here, animal teeth on his neck. And I'll move the camera up. You can see his animal teeth around his neck. He's wearing a some sort of choker, a necklace. Looks like he has red lipstick on and a nice glam haircut. He's also still got the silver gloves on, playing his Fender guitar. He's got red, looks like just basic fabric jeans on with a couple of buttons and a pocket, and he looks very intent. The image is a little bit small for the area. There's a lot of empty space top and bottom. There are some additional liner notes here at the bottom, and I believe this was made in 1973 at the earliest. It was recorded at Caribou Ranch, where Elton John recorded. So he had a gatefold, so he had a lot of record company support. I assume that he made shitloads of money off of Rock and Roll Hoochie Coo, which Johnny Winter also covered. Johnny Winter does kind of a slow version of it. And let's see what else we have here. These little gloves here that he's wearing on his little hands remind me of the gloves that Iggy Pop wore at that concert in Cincinnati. Iggy Pop had these golden kind of vinyl gloves on, and he was wearing those. And Rick Derringer's gloves look like Iggy Pop's gloves. And Rick Derringer also had a short-lived group called DNA with Carmen Apache, I think that's how you pronounce it, Appice. And DNA, I'll try to find the cover and plug it in here. The DNA album has a really fun cover where they're all in a laboratory and stuff. And this again was on, and is still on Blue Sky Records. It's a nice label imagery. It looks kind of like the Yes logo, the swirly, fun-loving letter logo design. And so looks like even Patti Smith does she did a co-write on the song Hold. And this is the Blue Sky inner sleeve. It's like a beach scene with some blue sky at the top. And let's move Rick Derringer a little closer again so we can see this cover better. I'm not sure about the positioning of his mouth. His mouth looks a little bit awkward and kind of dangerous, like he's menacing his audience. And but I think at the time it was a nice facial expression, and it still holds up. It's just a little bit menacing. The spine lettering is absolutely perfect, and it's got kind of a Columbia Records thing happening here. The Blue Sky lettering here, and it's really shiny. It's a real nice condition record. So that's our friend Rick Derringer and his album All American Boy. Let's Let's find out for sure what year this came out. It came out in '73, so this album is about 90 years old now. Last year it celebrated its 90th birthday, this album.